Okay, right. Now we're dealing with question D. In question D, they say that explain why the formula given in question 5C does not work after the 11th stop. Now remember, when we are dealing with stops or passengers, we are dealing with live things. So we can't have negative numbers, basically. We can't have negative number of passengers or we can't have negative number of stops. We have to continue to have positive number of stops or positive number of passengers. Now remember that the sequence the general sum of the sequence is given as Tn equals to minus 2n squared plus 24n and minus 20, right? Minus 20. Right, they say explain why the formula given does not work after the 11th stop. Now let's check it out. Now let's try and see what happens if we put the 11th stop. So in the 11th stop, we're gonna get T11, right? So we say T11 squared plus 24L minus 20. If we do that, we're gonna um, minus 2 times 11 squared plus 24, 11 minus 20. So after the 11th stop, in the 11th stop, we get two passengers, right? Yes, in the 11th one, we get two passengers. Let me just quickly check that up again. Minus 2, 11 squared plus 24 times 11 minus 20. Yes, you do get two passengers. Now, the next step is for us to try checking. They're saying that it stops at the 11. Let's see what happens when we go to 12, to 12 stops. Minus 2, 12 squared plus 24, 12 minus 20, right? Now let's see, minus 2, 12 squared plus 24 times 12 minus 20, we get minus 20. Now can you see that that number cannot be valid? Remember, I said that passengers is a realistic thing. We cannot be getting negative passengers. We can't say a bus is gonna get negative number of people. That doesn't make sense. We gotta always work with positive variables or positive numbers. And can you see that the answer that we get here, this number here, it's negative. So of course, if you're gonna go on and on, of course we're gonna start getting numbers. We're gonna start getting negative numbers. So that's why that formula only works up until the 11th, because in the 11th we get two passengers, which we are still working with positive numbers, but immediately we start working from 12 and going upwards. I'm sure even if you try till 13, you're gonna still get a negative number. If you start going from numbers from 12 and upwards, you start getting um, negative numbers, and remember that cannot happen. So the reason why this formula does not work after the 11th stop, it's because you get negative numbers. You get negative number of passengers after the 11th stop. Alright, so then that's how you could have proven that answer in the question. Another way it was trying to find is to use functions. Basically, it's to you to find an interval where that function is negative. Then that where that function is negative, basically then you're gonna know that from this number, from this point to that point, the function is positive, so it's still valid. But from this point to that point, the function is no longer gonna be available because we can't get negative passengers. All right.